Jayson is startled awake by the familiar buzz of the cell doors unlocking. Still getting his bearings, he notices several shamblers near his cell, with one immediately beginning to pound on his door. Jayson tries to get the shambler to stop when he sees an undead guard armed with a shotgun. He figures 2-on-1 is pretty decent odds, but is quickly mistaken. Jayson tries to rapidly handle the guard by stomping his head in, and then he tries to grab the gun, but he just doesn't have enough time. He flees into the cell to see if the guard did significant damage. Luckily, it was only a scratch. He covers the wound with ripped pieces of cloth from his socks and tries to formulate his next plan. His mind was racing, trying to figure out how they had gotten in, but quickly decided that it was unimportant in the moment. As the horde of flesh eaters begins to grow and the structural integrity of the cell door begins to fail, Jayson's blood really starts to pump. With adrenaline reaching its height, he decides, fuck it, I'm just gonna run through them. With every moment passing, he tries to hype his mind and body up for the task. He realizes he might need a bit of a head start and that he really only has one shot at this. He goes for it. He made it. Now he's gonna find a way out. After seeing how many undead had flooded into the cell block, the already battered survivor decided he had no choice but to fight his way out. Struggling to come to terms with this situation, Jayson tries to work out the best way to efficiently fight these things. He knew his fist would only go so far, so he needed to find a weapon for any chance of surviving this hellhole at all. As he starts getting pushed into a corner, the survivor notices a weapon laying on the ground and hurries to grab it. Immediately, he noticed his exhaustion starting to weigh on him. Every swing became slower. Every swing became less powerful. He started to run out of air. As he retreats once again to his cell, he realized he was scratched again at some point during all his fighting. He starts to bandage his wound and snag some painkillers he knew a fellow inmate had stashed. And then he catches his breath. After a brief moment of rest, Jayson starts his long battle to take back his cell block from the mindless biters. After clearing the upper tier of the undead, the exhausted survivor notices there is only one shambler on the armed guard he had killed earlier. He rushed to kill it and arm himself with the gun. While searching, he also found guard keys, which would come in handy on his escape. Having pretty much cleared his surrounding area, the rugged man begins searching the cells of his old neighbors. Having filled his pockets, Jayson took a few sheets and made himself a makeshift backpack to put it all in. Looking over the cell block, Jayson felt a sense of safety that was quickly followed by a heavy sense of loss. Many of the undead that he had slain for his safety were his fellow inmates for the last year. Plenty of them were his friends, and plenty of them had families, kids, lives. I don't know how I feel about today. Many of those men were people I'd call friend. Some of them were good men. Men who lost their way. Some of them were bad men. But they were people. I ain't no killer. But I am a fighter. I reckon I'm gonna have to fight more. But shit, I'll drink to lost friends.